So today we're doing something a little bit different. All I'm gonna do is talk about my tune. Next weekend's gonna be a good weekend, so next week we're gonna have some pretty good videos. So of course, look out for that. And yeah, maybe a couple of videos with this thing again. Getting ready to 350 swap it, so oh yeah, fun stuff. Alright, so let's get into talking about this tune. So today I went for a little drive just to demonstrate how the car is performing. Now, you know what? It's not something to be astonished by, but for what it is and, you know, how much power comes on the car as it sits compared to, you know, throwing my money at it and trying to get the best out of it. Literally just building this car into what I want it to be. It did pretty well. So coming up here in just a second, there's going to be a couple of 0 to 60 pulls. I did it two different styles. So one way was that I could manually shift it to achieve the higher red line, and the other way was to basically just drive the car in D3 so that it shifts on its own, and that shift point is at 6,800 instead of 73. So hopefully you could visually see the difference, and I really think you can hear it just because the engine starts to scream the higher that it goes in the RPM. You know, I think personally I can feel a big difference in power whenever I let it rev all the way to 7,300 in comparison to whenever it shifts on its own at 68. And whenever it shifts at 68, it feels a little bit too early. Every now and then it'll have a really good pull whenever I let it shift on its own, and it'll feel really, really good. But most times whenever I let it shift on its own, it doesn't quite hit the power band in the exact spot that I want it to whenever it's in, you know, second gear, which is from first to second gear. So whenever I do let it hit the red line, it automatically throws me right into the power band, and I can, you know, you can feel the difference, and you can see the difference, and you can hear the difference. Of course, at the test and tune this upcoming Saturday, I will definitely be able to see the difference, and that's because I will have like all my time slips and everything, and I'll get to compare and see what really works better. Just as far as driving it and testing it so many different times, I can tell you that after 8 revisions, it's an insane difference. Like, you don't really understand unless you're in the car. But I've even had a couple of my friends in the car, and they've ridden with me beforehand, so they knew how slow it was compared to how slow it is now. And it's not as slow. I get it. It's not some insane race car, but it is, you know, quite different than it was before. And if you don't know what modifications I have catless header, catless downpipe, full catback exhaust, along with a cold air intake. So, you know, I've got full bolt-ons. If you watched Thursday's video, you saw that I have a turbo kit now, which will be installed about a month from now. So, up next, all I have is some sound clips, so I hope you enjoy it. So that's going to be all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Drop a like if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you're new, and, click the link that's in our description so that you can go buy some of our merch.